All right, gonna move my microphone into place. Week 5 KFPL game going live now. We'll see who trickles in here at the beginning. Just gonna show off the standings real quick. So Dr. Sheep atop of the pile at 4-1. True Rhodian, also 4-1. They're basically guaranteed in. The a win or a loss next week for either of those players, they're in the top 4. They make the cut to go on to the next round of the KFPL. Z and I, both of us have not played this week, but I'm fixing to play, obviously. A win here puts me in. A loss here, I have to win next week. So, looking for a win this week, so that way I don't have to sweat next week. Cav is a good player, so I won't underestimate Cav. That is, despite his record not being the best in the KFPL, that could be attributed to any number of factors. I do think this pod right here, this is the pod of death. I think this is the hardest of the pods based off of who is playing in this. So this pod had the lion's share of like the top 10 Vault Tour players in it. See, Compacta, Corythan, Cav all have Vault Tour wins. So, you know, just an absolutely stacked pod. So I think coming out of this with like a break-even record is a good sign. And anything could go wrong in any individual game of Keyforge too. So, but yeah, just taking a quick look at the standings. A win from me, and I'm in. A win from Z, and I think that ends up being your top 4. Because anybody right now that's at the 2 and 3 mark won't be able to hit the 4. So I think these 4. Or with a win from me and a win from Z, that's your top 4 for this pod, and next week almost doesn't matter. Next week is just bragging rights. I have got Cav's decks right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. Topaz, Boring Whirlpool Storyteller. Not tonight. What's up? How's it going? It's hard for... the chat doesn't show up on the white background, but I like to take a look at the decks before we start playing, making sure I've made the right call. Okay. Topaz. Lots of card drawing in this deck. 1 capture icon. Don't know. It's, you don't, I guess you do get to see where the icons ended up. Okay, so there's a capture on the Dinobot, but a lot of other stuff draws cards. Lots of standardized testing. So pretty good at killing creatures. Niflkong. Love me some Niflkong. This is an interesting deck. Bring low. Yeah, interesting deck. I'm not terrified of this deck. Getting to spam emotes, that's good. This deck does look pretty efficient. I think it draws a lot of extra cards, and if you get a Cronus, you get to archive some extra stuff. But doesn't looks. I mean, 15 expected Amber means you're gonna have to reap with creatures to win the game. Thank you, X073D. Appreciate that. So yeah, captures its primary method of Amber control. So this deck does not strike fear into my heart. So now it probably plays Niflkong very reliably because the logos will let you get there. The more interesting thing is that if you've got the Niflkong in play, that kind of like shuts down the standardized testing. I would be interested if he brought this deck. I don't think it is the right call, but I don't think I would play this deck if were I him, were the roles reversed. All right, Captain I Inzatrap, and this looks to be Coda, classic Coda. Yeah, we got some vintage deck right here. Shadows, Sanctum Logos, 17 Expected Amber, double Phase Shift, double Anomaly Explorer. So this seems like a pretty interesting pick right here. This is what I would call like a fair Coda deck. Like, this deck doesn't do anything abusive, but there's a lot of like really cool stuff going on. It's got a speed sigil, so it feels kind of like a speed sigil deck. You got a one last job to maybe pull off like a big one last job. You could even phase shift one last job if you played a bunch of Shadows creatures the turn prior, and then they're all still alive into your Logos turn. You could even, like, it seems like the lab work to archive the one last job would be pretty good. Actually, I think this deck can draw a lot of cards because of the phase shift and the library access, right? And a Mobius scroll. Yeah. Novu Archaeologist. There's so yeah. The Sanctum, I think, is very, very fair, almost too fair. Dr. Beppis, hello. I'm seeing all the EU names since we're streaming at an EU friendly time. You probably end up having to reap with these Sanctum creatures to win the game at some point, but I would say ultimately probably a very fair deck as well. I think you want to see your Sanctum stuff early, Logos mid game, Shadows late if you got to just pick. So all right, and then Murdoch, the Elder of Metrogate, and this is a Worlds Collide triple Murmook. I love it. My deck has triple Murmook. It's just going to be crab on crab violence if these two decks play. Shadow Council, yet another deck you're going to have to reap with creatures to win the game. This Untamed is actually very reminiscent of Ardreth's Untamed. So, and Brobnar over here isn't doing anything too crazy. He does have two Ganger Chieftains. The Floor's Lava is a fun card. Kymor Eclipse, also a difficult card to play around, and like some decks love it, some decks hate it. I think this deck is the weakest of the decks that he's brought, but I do think it is also the deck that is most difficult to win with. So, having a deck that is not easy to win with is a good thing for Adaptive. So I would be interested if you brought this deck. I think were I him, I think I would just play this deck. This deck seems to me to be a deck that you have to play a few times, get some experience with, to really know when to library access. Because it does seem like this deck hinges off the library access. Knowing what to phase shift and to when. You don't have a ton of archiving. You've got a decent amount, I'd say, for Coda, between the Mobius scroll and the lab work. Knowing what to archive and when, I think, is also difficult. And knowing whether or not to play the speed sigil would be a big deal. I like speed sigil when you've got Moon Cursor. But I would be hesitant to play speed sigil against Worlds Collide decks. And I've talked about this at length. Speed sigil versus Worlds Collide and versus mass mutations it can be kind of dicey because your opponents can get more effect from it than you can. So, all right. Cav is messaging me. Okay, so Cav is ready to play. You'll listen to my typing ASMR. All right. Should get started pretty soon. I anticipate the Coda deck, but I wouldn't be surprised if he brought the Worlds Collide deck, just to have kind of like a curveball. I could also see him. Honestly, I could see Cav playing any three of these decks, any of the three. So Yeah, I think Speed Sigil is a really good skill testing card. I think it is a good um I think it's a good adaptive card. Ah, to the Batcave is his username. It's pretty good. Pretty good username. Did not know that was his username. Pretty excellent username. Hit him with customary GLHF. Yeah. Hang on one second. I'm going to mute while I just cough everywhere. Hachas Tico. Hello. How are you? Okay. He opted to go with the Worlds Collide. Okay. There's that. So this is actually going to be, I think, a fairly long game. Because both of our decks remove stuff. Brynn and the Shadow Council are the biggest threats to me. Anything that lets him steal is bad news. And honestly, the Brobnar is very troublesome too, because that lets him have just big creatures that can reap over and over again. Okay, so he's going first. So this hand looks to be not amazing, but I think I might keep it because I can Tau away a Hysteria. Hysteria is good against that. Well, it's like mediocre against that Brobnar. He's got a lot of Ganger Chieftains, which can reap versus an empty board. So I think I'll keep just because of the Tau. Gron. Okay. So we'll go Logos. Play. Okay. Dr. Millie there is pretty good because that lets me archive my Hysteria as well. So, fighting with Gron to make it big. Plays a shorty. Plays a discards the Gargantua Scrapper. Misplayed there. Went too fast probably. Okay. I think I go back with Logos and I just Twin Bolt. I could see him reaping twice though. That's fine. I think I want the Crazy Killing Machine down. No in the archives. Get the Crazy Killing Machine down, and we'll Twin Bolt. Yep. Done with the turn. Pass it back to him. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Stormstrong. Forgot to swap that over to emote. If he has like any Brobnar cards, reaping twice and playing them is probably the best play against Ardreth specifically. Opts to go into Shadows, uses a Mug. Oh, I'm supposed to have a hand. I'm screwed the hand cover thing. Cav's not watching this game. All right, plays an Avenda. Okay. So gonna go into Untamed here. Gonna play. Note on the archives. Play the Fangtooth. Play Unnatural. Play the Rustnar. Discard Bramble Links. And then Fangtooth is gonna kill, I think, Avenda. Actually, I think it's worth it to kill Shorty there. That way, I try to keep the number of of any creature in one house to a minimum. That's the goal, at least. We only share one house, so Crazy Killing Machine is a little bit less powerful in this matchup. And some of the previous matchups where we've shared like 2. Then Crazy Killing Machine does a lot more work. Okay, I can exhume Dr. Millie, an archive, Igor, Feathered Shaman, and a fair game. Seems pretty good. It's going to split my archives, but I think that's acceptable in this case. So, I'll go into discs. No in the archives. I don't want to bounce these. Play Dr. Millie. Feathered Shaman, Igor, fair game. Play Lilithal. I'll play the Festering Touch. Okay, Dr. Millie's got to die to Fangtooth. If I had a clean way to deal with my own Dr. Millie there, that would have been pretty good. So, it is downstairs, hopefully sleeping. I do go to check here. I get to, I'm at 7. Did he have a Ronnie? I don't think I saw a Ronnie. So no Ronnie. Really, the things that bother me the most about his deck are the stealing from shadows. That is the stuff that troubles me the most. Okay. So I don't forge because there's just too many crabs on the table. Nobody told me there'd be this many crabs. I can leave the Rustnar alive. I don't think I want to... this Deepwood Druid is going to be discarded, though, because I don't want to have a board state where he can use the Rustnar to fight into one of my creatures. I think there was a game earlier where I did that. I think it was in the Glorious U, where I gave my opponent a free fight with a Rustnar, and they were able to blow up my Fangtooth. So, all right, we're going to go with Untamed here. We don't want the archives. Nope. We're going to discard the Deepwood Druid. We're going to play Murmook. We're going to kill the other Murmook. We'll play Cauldron Boil. We'll end the turn. We can smoke the Bramble Links. Okay, we finally got an Infernus. We can start our Dread work. There's a good chance that I'm going to Infernus myself a whole lot this game. I may take one more turn of Logos. Just Barn Raising. Okay, so Silken's gonna fight. It'll actually fight down my Murmook twice. Make me lose 2 Amber with the Barn Raising. It's a pretty cool trick. I like that. That's pretty neat. Okay. Yeah, so I think I take one more Logos turn. I can Thorium Plasmate to kill something. Probably the Murmook. that will actually let me threaten. I can crazy killing machine because there's not dis. My deck is mostly dis. Actually, my deck is mostly untamed. So I play the Dr. Millie first. No, if I do that, then okay, yeah. So this Cutthroat is always going to get played, right? No, in the archives. Cutthroat's always going to get played. Thorium Plasmate is always going to get played. We're going to use it, I think, to actually kill the Stiltkin. I Dr. Millie away the rest of my hand. Okay. And then I crazy killing machine. I get a Brobnar, and then it blows up because I milled my other Infernus. Okay. So now I draw 6. Finger Trap. No reason to Finger Trap. Yeah, I want it in my turn. Fangtooth will kill the Dr. Millie, keep the Rustnar from doing anything degenerate. I'm at 8, threatening the first key. Again, so we'll see. I got the Code Monkey too. So my deck is a Murmook and a Lilithal. Okay. If he plays a lot of creatures, I may just end up using Untamed. It's got to be getting close to Shadow's turn, right? Played a lot of Brobnar this game. Played a decent amount of Untamed. Thinking he's likely got a decent amount of Shadows. The problem is his Shadows doesn't do any stealing by itself. Like, he doesn't want to play Brend into a Hysteria, because it's just giving me free Amber. And he doesn't have a way to kill it immediately in Shadows. At least not since the Mug is gone, because he could Mug then Avinda. Alright, so he just reaped twice. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'll forge the yellow key. Okay, so reaped twice, passed it back to me. Untamed. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set up this fair game. So that way, I think what I have a 50-50 to hit it. If I pull up my archives, I could end up giving him 4, which does not seem great at all. He's done a pretty good job of making sure that he doesn't have any pips. I think it is a dis turn, though. I think it is going to be dis. Yeah, we'll take the archives into the hands. We will start things off with an Infernus. I'll get his Amber Pips. I will also Binding Irons him while I'm at it. Clog up his draw. We'll hit the Hysteria. Play the Infernus. Get mine. So what are the things I don't want? I do not want... Alright, 2 Dr. Millies. I don't think I want 2. And I'll hit 1 Thorium Plasmate. Okay. And then we'll Hysteria again. Play this. I could get rid of a Murmook. He's got some Gengar Chieftains as well. Gengar Chieftains are actually pretty good because it's like a way to generate Amber. Deepwood Druid is tempting. I'll get his Mega Gengar Chieftain and a Murmook. Gotta make sure we try to keep it an even spread between the houses, because I don't want to give him like a I don't want to give him like a nice like deck that's only 2 houses, right? And you can just swap between the 2 houses. Now, do I play this fair game? I can give him 4 here, which would let him forge. If it's like 50-50 to give him 4. Question is, how much could I get? If I hit shadows, I think I get a lot if I hit shadows. 50-50. Can I afford to give him this key? I don't think I can. I think he's so far behind, the only way he catches up is if he forges this key. So I'll discard a fair game. I'll kill my Edorum. So he can take an untamed turn and play that stuff. I am trying to play around a card I need to play around, I should say, is Kymor Eclipse, right? Because I think he wants to get some value out of Kymor Eclipses. Using Murmooks. The Gengar Chieftains are pretty good. So I want to set up creatures that are good against Kymor Eclipse. Okay. Untamed seems fine here. Yeah, go with Untamed. Discard the Feathered Shaman, discard the Deepwood Druid. Play Unnatural Selection, have to make a bunch of clips. Play the Murmook. Kill his Murmook. End my turn and kill his Rustnar. Okay. Kymord there, yep. Played a Hugger Mugger, so that actually let him steal one as well. Did I have enough? Oh, yeah, I guess I had enough. Out comes the Shadow Council. He discarded the other Kymor. Okay, so I can Igor Code Monkey the Igor. Or I can say Untamed and play Murmook. So I'll go Untamed. I don't think there's any reason for me to let the Shadow Council hang around any longer than it needs to. I can play the Deepwood Druid here. Because I can end my turn and Fangtooth the Hugger Mugger. We're not. I don't think this game is going to end in 4 minutes. So, the floor is lava. He really, if he had his Hawk, I think this game would be completely different because of the Fangtooth would be gone, right? I wouldn't get all these free kills on him. Okay. I think it's just Logos, right? I want to filter some. Play out the Anomaly Exploiter, play Igor. Infernus, Hysteria, Binding Irons. It's almost always Infernus. The Hysteria is pretty tempting here. But there's some juicy targets to Infernus. And then I'll just Code Monkey the Igor. And that'll be my turn. Code Monkey will die. There's a very real possibility that I will need my Amber Pips to win this game because neither of us will be able to leave creatures alive. Out comes a Hugger Mugger. Okay, so I'll say Logos. Put the archives up. Play Igor. Infernus, Edorum, a Bramblelinks. Yeah, we want the Infernus. I get Thorium Plasmate, the Hugger Mugger. And then Twin Bolt. and then be done. Hawk. The Fangtooth. Yeah, you gotta get rid of it. Okay. So I will say this. We're gonna Infernus. We're definitely gonna get his. We're gonna get Hawk. I think I actually get the Volcano. I know there might be some head scratches at that, but the person who wins this game is going to be the person who actually has creatures on the table and reaps. Got a I think this is a pretty good board state to use Dis until I can't use it anymore. Ooh, Harmonia. I wonder how many creatures he can play. Nature's Call. To bounce a bunch of my stuff. Nature's Call for Harmonia. Okay. Okay. He's at 8, so I definitely want to use this Murmook to force him to pay. So I will say Untamed. I'll play this on Natural Selection now. We'll play the Feathered Shaman. Play this Cauldron Boil, and then I'll play this Murmook. Shoot his Harmonia. Ship it back to him. Make him pay the 7. We are set up to have another good Dis turn. If he does not go through his deck, and honestly, I think these chains have been punishing him pretty heavily. If he does not go through his deck here, this Nature's Call is absolutely gone. And Harmonia actually needs to go as well. So... Alright, shooting people with the floor is lava. I honestly wonder if the Feathered Shaman was a discard there. The Feathered Shaman is like the worst card in this deck. It just is. It doesn't... Its effect is not a play effect. Plays a Brind, plays a Simon. Okay, well... Did not get through the deck, so... Yeah, this is a Dis turn. I think I'd rather have the Simon back in his hand, honestly. Yeah, Harmonia and Nature's Call are gone. What does he have left that I'm scared of in there? The Chimors aren't great, but honestly, I don't think I care. I think I want to start culling my deck. I can start getting rid of like Deepwood Druids. Deepwood Druid. I don't hate Bramble Links. Honestly, probably Binding Irons. I don't really want to draw into that. Okay. I'm at 9. I think this key forges. I don't think there's anything in his deck that will stop this key from forging. How much I pay is going to depend, though, because I don't know how many Murmooks are answered at this point. I think he's got... One is answered. Runs out Brind again. There's not too much to protect I'm playing into, right? Alright, so we'll forge the blue key. Can I just reap? Or is he gonna have to rely on getting Brind killed? Does he have a way to kill Brind? He could unnatural selection it. Yeah. I'm at 4. If he steals 3... The question here is, can I just reap 3 times and then win the game? Or sorry, reap 4 times and win the game. I think that's what I do. I think I just reap out. He can go into Untamed and play some stuff. It'd be like Tentadlin and a Murmook. He could Quicksand here. He can steal this Amber, sure. Like, oh, he just has Unnatural Selection, so he doesn't have the creatures to go with it then. Murmook. Okay, Quicksand. Okay, the steal, sure. Plays a Tentadlin. Plays a Murmook to shoot itself. Interesting. I think I just reap twice then. Because if I go into Untamed and play all this stuff, if he like threatens his second key, that's when I start playing this. But for right now, I think I just go to 7. Okay, GG. Alright, so we'll swap the decks now. Yeah. We just swap the decks now. Yeah. He's elected to go first. Ardreth is happy with either. The Logos in that deck is so efficient. Yep. Good luck. Have fun. Okay. So we'll start the game up. I don't hate this as a hand against Ardreth. We've got the Hawk, which is important. Unnatural Selection is decent against Ardreth. I'll keep this hand. I can, like, Gron, Chieftain's Brew, Gengar Chieftain. We're only 20 minutes in, so I don't think, Feathered Shaman, I see. Okay. Also, Brobnar will play Gron. Oh, Chieftain's Brew. Oh, Gengar Chieftain. And the turn is done. And if I untap with these creatures, it's probably going to be Reap, Gravel Guts. If he plays a bunch of creatures, I'll Volcano. That's the one of the tricks against Ardreth is just using your creatures to generate Amber over and over again. So important. Gengar Chieftain is really good. Out comes the Murmook. Shooting guts. Oh no, another Murmook. It might just this turn might be fight. This turn could very well be fight Volcano to clean up this table. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I hate eating a chain here, but this is how Ardreth wins, having 4 creatures of the same house out and then just using them over and over again. So, okay. As much as I want to reap there. Yeah. As much as I want to reap there, I don't think that's going to work. if he used those 4 creatures over and over and over again, the Murmook's next to the Feathered Shaman. So that board state happened because I made fun of Feathered Shaman last game, right? I said Feathered Shaman is probably the worst card in the deck, and then he generated a board state where Feathered Shaman's absolutely insane, right? So that's how this is how the game of Keyforge is played. I want to be clear about the way Keyforge is played. You play Keyforge, fair game. Discarded a Kymore, so I only got him 1. So he had Deepwood Druid, Dr. Millie, and a Murmook. Oh man, he had all 3 Murmooks that early. That's actually a good sign for forging keys later in the game. Yeah, this sucks. I think it's a Brobnar turn. We have to like kill that Edoram. Oh, I should have played that Barn Raising first, but whatever. Okay, now I can possibly take an Untamed turn. I'm like trying to get him to commit more to the board. Because the thing that gets you in trouble versus Ardreth is using especially artifact removal, but using Amber Pips too early in the game. Because that means anytime Infernus is played, it can stop a key. So he's going through so many more cards than me. I mean, Ardreth it's got Worlds Collide logos in it, so it can be crazy efficient. All right, out comes Code Monkey. Ooh, is he opting to... Okay, he opted for the Amber there. So I honestly think this was a misplay from Cav. Code Monkey is best used on your play effect creatures. I know the Amber is tantalizing. The Amber is like super tempting whenever you can take it, but those 2 5-powered creatures can fight everything that I have, right? I would have been tempted to play Igor, then played Code Monkey and archive just the Igor there. That way you can use the Igor again on a future turn. Lilithal does not unlike Igor and Code Monkey and Infernuses and the Murmooks, Lilithal does not like being having to be replayed over and over and over again. Because Lilithal really wants to be on the board to have effects. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to take an Untamed turn here. I don't care about Finger Trap. Hawk has really got to be for... honestly, it's got to be for the Fangtooth, I think. Oh, I killed Mr. Guts there. Ooh, this is a good Untamed turn if I get to take it. If. Big if. He could Murmook me. He had the 1 Murmook in hand. It's not unreasonable to expect another Logos turn. And it's not unreasonable to expect a Dis turn. If he takes another Untamed turn, he's like not calling Untamed for the rest, until his deck is almost reshuffled, right? Because right now he's at 6 Untamed cards. He had a 7th one in his hand. He's not even halfway through the deck. Actually, I guess that's a little bit... Yeah. Not quite or a little over halfway through the deck. So he is going with Untamed. Okay. This could only be like a 3-card turn. Murmook comes down, probably kills Harmonia. Yeah. Harmonia presents too big of a threat. So yeah, so it was only a 2-card turn. His Murmook is stopping the Forge there. I get value off Song of the Wild, which is just like too much to pass up, I think. I can Murmook the Murmook. Okay, I have not seen a Hysteria, so what we want to do is we want to get rid of things that are we don't want him to Hysteria with, right? So I'll go Untamed, play the Song of the Wild, Reap. Play Murmook. Shoot that Murmook. Play Nature's Call. Pick up just my Murmook. Nothing else. Play the Murmook. Kill the Code Monkey. Code Monkey may not have... just Exhume... it doesn't matter what I get, right? Honestly, I wonder if putting it back into his hand was the right call. That way he can't get access to Code Monkey during the Hysteria turns. Okay, I'm at 8. I forged for 7. What's-his-face stops me. An Infernus stops me. Going into Logos... Cutthroat stops me, too. I played into Cutthroat there. Thorium. Do some damage. Move my guys around a little bit. Igor trading. Cutthroat stopping. Wants me to forge. Okay, so I'll forge. Okay, so it's a lot of amber there. Can't stop the key. I guess he wanted the Murmook gone. Is this... So, if I play this Bryn, it's just gonna get bounced. That's just the way it is, if I play this Bryn. So, I think I take this opportunity to just take a really crappy Untamed turn, or I could take a crappy Brobnar turn and play the floor as lava. Oh no! We Tentadlin, and we try to hit one of these archive cards. That's what we do. That's actually what we do. So we'll run out the Rustnar. And we're gonna have the Tentadlin fight Dr. Millie. Okay, we hit a Lilithal. Okay, that's neutral. I really wanted whatever the third card was, right? I knew it was 2 Lilithals and something. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to outmaneuver the Hysteria. When he Igored, he discarded Infernus and I guess Unnatural Selection. Playing a Tau. Okay, so I think he's setting up the big combo turn. Do I just reap twice with my Untamed? Seems very likely. He's played the fair game. It's down there. Twin Bolt does some damage. Now comes Anomaly Exploiter. Okay, so I think this is a Dr. Millie archive more. Okay. The damage on the Rustnar is important there, because that way I can't just fight the Rustnar into Dr. Millie to blow up like the Quantum Finger Trap. 5 cards in the archive. I think I just take a Shadows turn here. I do not play this Brend. I almost don't want to play this Hawk because it's going to get Infernused. Actually, playing that Hugger Mugger, what I do is I mug the Hugger Mugger. That's what I do. To just take that Amber. Because the thing is... This Brend is just... I just don't see a reality where I get to use this Brend the way I want to. Yeah. It's like just too dangerous to use that Brend. Go ahead and hawk the Anomaly Explorer while I'm at it. I'll go to 4 Amber. It's all going to get purged by Infernuses. This is the big Infernus turn right here. This is it. 3 cards left on the deck, 5 cards in the archive, 6 cards in hand. This Infernus turn is going to be gross. Real gross. if Cav wins this game, this is like a 9 or a 10 chainer, I think. I think this matchup is pretty lopsided. It's going with Untamed. I cannot believe that. Fangtooth. Ramblings. Wow. Huh. That's actually really difficult to believe. Okay. So. This is an Untamed turn, I believe, because he's got the gross Hysteria turn lined up. I don't want to because he's got 0 cards in the draw. Yeah, he's got the gross Infernus turn lined up. I don't want to put anything on the board that I don't want back in my hand, which is why I'm not going to play all this Brobnar stuff. Well, I say that, but yeah, I don't want this Brobnar stuff back in my hand. I'm going to Untamed. I'm going to Reap with the Rustnar. We'll play the Bramblelinks. Reap with the Bramblelinks, and then Tintadlin is going to fight the other Bramblelinks. Okay, we got a Festering Touch. That's not bad. Okay, ship it back to him. It's going with this. Yep. Here it comes. He had some discipline there. I'll definitely give him that. It takes some discipline to hold the Infernus turn. I wasn't shuffling anytime soon, so I think that is a good play from him. Exhume. You can exhume the other Infernus. There's not going to be anything left of this deck. Or his deck. Maybe he wanted to get through... maybe he wanted to wait to the last possible second to play. Hawk is gone. It's all gone. I'm going to go to the bathroom while he takes this turn. I'll be right back. It's going to be a minute. Okay, I've returned. Okay. He's purged Barn Raisings. Didn't purge much from himself, but Nature's Call, Mug, Unnatural Selection, Gengar Chieftain, Hawks. Kind of agrees with me, like, with the priority of things you want to get rid of here. Alright, so, only ended with 3 disc creatures. I think this is a Brobnar turn. He left me with some toys. There's not like a ton of Amber Pips in here. Did he Hysteria twice is the question. Hysteria. So he left the other Hysteria then. So that is something that he has done. I think he left the other Hysteria there intentionally. All right, so we'll play the floor is lava. We'll play the Stiltkin. I'll play Shorty. And then Stiltkin is going to fight Lilithal. There's an argument to fight into these Infernuses. Alright, so we'll play Gengar Chieftain to the right. So we'll use Gengar Chieftain to kill this Infernus. Okay. Ship it back to him. Alright. One major annoying thing about the Hysterias in that deck is like how they clog up your hand, right? If he Hysterias again, I just basically have to like replay the things I've already played. I opted to go with Logos. I'd probably take a Shadow's turn next. It's possible I take an Untamed turn. Yeah, actually, I think I take an Untamed turn. Plasmate to kill Shorty. It's a shame. Shorty is probably the best fighter in this deck. Shorty kills almost everything except for Lilithal and Ardreth. Alright, damage here, damage Lilithal. I take this Untamed turn. It's not impressive. It's possibly correct to discard all this garbage. I got Binding Irons somewhere in there. Oh, I got Binding Irons during the Hysteria turn. Because if he Hysterias again, you know, it's just more crap. More crap back in my hand. Clogging up my hand forever. Reap, reap, Hysteria. Yeah, I think we're at the point of the game where it's like time to start strategizing about how many chains to bid. I think you want to be playing Ardreth in this matchup, and I think you're fine going relatively high because this deck does not Cavs deck does not win very quickly at all, right? You need like specific combos to do powerful things with. Yeah, Brend. It's a shame. I just couldn't line up the Brend this game. Alright, we'll shoot Lilithal. I'm gonna play all these crappy Shadows creatures. Okay, so we'll put Shadow Council here. Hugger Mugger at least gets some work done. Get to steal one. I'll play a Venda to the left. I'll play J Venda to the left. I'll play Simon to the left. This does set up. You'll notice Shadow Council's not in the middle, and that's because Fangtooth will always kill Simon. Unnatural selection. Okay, he'll get to choose. I was not optimistic about these Shadows creatures having any sort of effect. I was going to need them to have an effect to probably win this game, but I don't think they're likely to have an effect here. Because I think you probably just leave Simon, A Venda, and the Hugger Mugger, and you kill J Venda and the Shadow Council. Yeah, he agrees with me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's funny how dead the quicksand is here. Alright, we'll get Avenda, we'll get a Rustnar. The funny thing is the Deepwood Druid now can heal the Rustnar, so I have to like discard this Bramble Links. If I play this Quicksand, I kill my Avenda, and that's it. This is literally all I do. Not great, so I think I go Untamed. I'll play the Rustnar to the right. I'll play the Bramble Links to the right. If I leave the Tentadlin alive, the Rustnar can fight my Tentadlin. So I think I have to discard Tentadlin, and then Quicksand just kills Avenda, so we'll discard the Quicksand. Ship it back to him. Oh. I've got Murmooks left in the deck. I did not see those this game, but the Hysteria stuff made it several turns. I was stymied several turns before I could see new cards, right? So, could Gargantus Scrapper get to do something this game? Alright, Murmook. He's fighting the Murmook off the table. I think that's implying that he's trying to threaten to win the game this turn. Yeah. Okay. I think I actually just Hugger Mugger then Kymor Eclipse. The only way I win this game from this point is if I somehow steal. I have to steal so much Amber to win this game. I've at least got these two Murmooks right here. I think if he's keeping count, he knows that I've got like two Murmooks left, because I was not able to draw them at any point to make him pay. Exhume. Exhuming at Furnace is just fine here. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. No, the floor is lava. And quicksand. Okay. So he'll have to kill one of his creatures, and then I can Murmook too. Still not optimistic about my chances, but we're not dead yet. Have to go to Untamed to keep the game going. Shoot the Edorum. We shoot the Infernus. Pass it back to him. Ooh, that was not a card we wanted to see there. If this deck was purged down to Hugger Muggers and if my deck was purged down to just Hugger Muggers and Kymor Eclipses, I could probably forge the second key. I'm not sure I could win the game, because then the Hugger Mugger stops stealing, because I'll no longer we'll be even on keys, and so I won't be able to steal anymore. So yeah. Code Monkey. Archiving just Dr. Millie. Plays the cut there. It goes to 8. Fang Tooth will kill a Code Monkey. Killing Machine. Throwing Plasmate and 9 Toes. So you can actually kill his Code Monkey so that the Fang Tooth will kill one of my creatures. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, he could have killed his Code Monkey and Fangtooth would have shot one of my Mermooks. Alright. Shadows. I'm not dead yet. Okay. If he threatens this turn, I just lose. I'm out of ways to stop him, so. Out of ways to stop him. Can he generate 2 amber? Actually, I got a barn raising. It's not over yet. I lied. It still can get purged. No. Alright, he's opted to go with this. He's played the Exhume. I feel a Hysteria. Yeah. Opted to throw away Lilithal. That's a GG. Okay. So. Chain bidding. I start the bid at 0 with my deck. We'll see what he bids. Keeping note of the time. Yeah. There's like 25 to 30 minutes left. He's going to 4. I can bid 5. I think I just keep pushing the bid. He's gonna look at 7. I think I feel comfortable with 9. Okay, I feel comfortable with 9. I feel comfortable with. Do I feel comfortable with 11? 11 steep. Goes to 12 chains. 12 is a lot. Shipachu, or Shipochu 83. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. 12 is a lot. 13, so he's down 2 cards for a long time. That's a tough one. I think I give it to him for 12. 12 is a lot of chains. 12 is so many chains. $13 is just like you're talking like 3 or 4 card opener. Oh, I gotta concede this game. Brobnar intern. Okay. I think, is it rematch? Is it just rematch from here? I don't know if anybody knows. I use TCO far, far less than playing in person, so. Yeah, we'll see rematch. Yes. Okay. And he's got swap to, so I'm gonna choose to, I think, yeah, we'll know manual mode. He goes up to 12 chains. That's a bid right there. I admire that bid. That is a hefty bid of chains. Okay, so who goes first? I let him go first. He basically gets to shed a chain for free. I think I go first. Yeah. Okay. I think I can do better. This hand's not awful, but I think I can do better. Actually, I kind of like all this Untamed stuff now that I'm looking at it. But I hate the shadow stuff. I think I mulligan this hand. Okay, this hand I think is a little bit better, so. Untamed. Okay. Opts to go with this. Fair game. Oh, yeah. He gained 3 off fair game. Fair game, Hysteria, Binding Irons. It's a pretty good starter. Pretty good starter, I'd say. I can Hugger, Mugger, Mug, and then Kymore, which seems solid, so. All right. Okay, so we take an Untamed turn. We play this. I actually hold this Song of the Wild. Yeah. Absolutely hold this Song of the Wild, because reaping for 6, like getting a bunch of amber, is so pivotal to winning this game. He could Dr. Millie. Millie would let him archive some, and like it's kind of like he's not playing with chains at that point. Okay, at 8 chains, so we'll say Untamed. Play a Song of the Wild. And then reap. Now the question is, do I play this other Murmook? I would have to forge for 8, which I'm not about. I'm not about that life, so I think I leave this Murmook in my hand. I think the ability to kill is more powerful than like I value the removal there. If he cutthroats me, I still get to forge the key, right? So there's a chance that he cutthroats, like a decent chance. So I'm at 9. But at least get to forge the key, right? And then I can play the Murmook. Thoriums. Okay. I wonder if he kills the Murmook here. But were I him, I would not kill the Murmook. I think you want me to forge for as much as possible. Okay, he's killing the Bramble Links, it looks like. And if he does cut through, I'm expecting the cut through. Does he cut through? Plays a twin bolt. Shoot my guys, okay. Reaps. He has a cut through on top of it, yeah. Out comes Dr. Millie, okay. So, I will forge for 7, and then we go back into Untamed, and I'm gonna Murmook. We'll kill the Igor. Read with my Murmook, and then I think Tintadlin takes out a Dr. Millie, so I can also get the card out of the archives, which was an Eterome, which is a neutral card. Eterome can be good. Eterome is good in the board states where both people are trying to take over the board. Alright, going back into Logos. Going back into Logos implies to me that he's got Tau Vapors. Using a non-exploiter. Kills the Tintadlin, yeah. Tintadlin is there to be a nuisance. Code Monkey the Dr. Millie. Okay. I think I go into Untamed. I just Reap twice, and I play this Rustnar. Is it worth it, or do I go into Brobnar here? It's like a Brobnar, Gargantus Scrapper, Stiltkin, Reap. I don't want to get Hysteria'd, but this hand is resilient against Hysteria, is the thing. I can give him enough creatures that like he can't just exhume whatever he wants from Logos. So I think this is actually a Brobnar turn to get a little bit deeper in the deck. Play to the right. Play the Stiltkin to the right. Play the Ganger Chieftain to the right. Reap. Oh, there's Barn Raising. I wouldn't mind getting Hysteria'd here. But I could see, yeah, okay. A Natural Selection, definitely. Looks like he's setting up, plays Fangtooth, plays Rustnar. No Unnatural Selection. Interesting. Fangtooth takes that out. Is it Reap, Murmook? Rustnar? Triple Murmook is pretty good, because if he answers the Murmooks, I forge. I have 1 Amber Pip in my discard pile, which is what we want to see, right? So I think it's Untamed. Reap. Play the Murmook. Play my own Rustnar. He just took an Untamed turn, so if he goes back into it for Unnatural Selection, I don't feel too bad. Okay. I wonder if he just leaves the 3 Murmooks on the table. That would be pretty funny. Fixing to take a real bad turn. Opted to kill. Okay. So I think I have to... if I say Untamed, I reap with the Mermooks. I go to 8. I could get Cutthroat researched. If I go to 7, though, with Brobnar and I ditch these Barn Raisings, that I think has got to be slightly better. So I'll go Brobnar. I'll reap. I'll discard these Barn Raisings. Okay. Ship it back to him. Ooh, Hawk. Hawk is good. Dr. Millie's in the archives. This deck can be so efficient. Like, he had 12 chains, and he's got 8 cards left in the deck. I have 15. a lot of that's on that Logos, right? The Dr. Millies are the secret sauce to the deck. Okay. It's going into Dis. Could it be Hysteria and Infernus is here? Plays an Infernus. I only have got the 1 pip to get rid of. So, he would have to start milling some of his own stuff if he wants to stop this key, if he's also going to Hysteria. So, it's Purged, Cauldron Boil, and Unnatural Selection. Interesting choices. Festering Touch, do some damage to kill a Mermook at least. He could opt not to kill this Mermook, but I would probably kill it. Okay, so this is actually a really good Inky Gloom turn here. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say Shadows. We're going to play the Shadow Council. Play Hugger Mugger. I'll play Simon. I'm going to Inky Gloom, and then I'm going to Hawk the Fangtooth. Okay. Volcano could be clutch. Actually, I wonder if I should have played the Simon on the other side. Do you get to threaten this key? A lot of really powerful resources are gone, but he's still got an Infernus. He's still got a Hysteria left. Hysteria would suck here because he can't reap, fortunately, because of Inky Gloom. So put the so before he tries to figure out, I was trying to warn him before he took his turn, right? The no reaping there is really important because if he's got the Hysteria and he gets that 3 amber, then okay, it's killing the Shadow Council. All right. Opting to stop the key through playing. Using creatures. I got a feeling the Hawk is gone. Maybe even the Shadow Council. Okay, so I know Exhume is left. I know Cauldron Boil kills 1 Lilithal. I can Nature's Claim the other Lilithal. I can reap with Mermook. I can replay Mermook. What's that put me at? I haven't seen the Cutthroat. I'm in Cutthroat range. No, I have seen the Cutthroat. I've been trying to play around Cutthroat. That was dumb. I should not be playing around Cutthroat. I should then probably take an Untamed turn. Cauldron Boil kills that Lilithal. I can Reap with Murmook. I can then Nature's Call it back to my hand and the other Lilithal, and then shoot one of the other the Infernus to try to keep the stuff to a minimum. Is there a way for me to threaten otherwise? Can also Volcano. Volcano would let me threaten. I can Chieftain's Brew to keep the Murmook alive, or I can Volcano to kill the Murmook, kill Infernus, kill Lilithal, kill Infernus, keep the Hugger Mugger alive with the Chieftain's Brew. Lilithal would have 1 on it. I'd get 1, 2. Keys would cost 5. That's not enough. I need this other Lilithal dead. What's left of my deck? A lot of Brobnar, so I'm like incentivized to use the Untamed here then. So I guess we'll go Untamed. Okay, so we're Reaping with the Murmook. I am playing Cauldron Boil. I am playing Nature's Call on the Murmook and that Lilithal. And then I will play this Murmook to kill that Infernus. Okay, I get to say check with 8. I get to pass it back to him. I was trying to save this Nature's Call because I think it's one of the most important cards in the whole matchup. Like Harmonia, for instance, on a turn where this deck puts down like 4 creatures and you Harmonia, creature, Nature's Call, Harmonia, creature. That's a lot of amber. That's a disproportionate amount of amber compared to what you were going to have to Ardreth would have to do to stop that amount of amber. All the Murmooks are long gone, right? No. Where are the Murmooks? We have yet to see... Oh, there's one. Could have some Murmooks, but he's opting to go with Dis. If it's Exhume Infernus, Reaping with Infernus, Exhuming Infernus... Yeah. Hysteria. We'll just have to try to reset and start again on the next time through. Probably going to Brobnar. Yeah. Losing Nature's Call hurts there. Hurts a lot. Okay. So... that's 6. Not actually threatening there. This deck is... a smattering of a bunch of different things. I think this is a Brobnar turn. He is not Hysteria, so I can actually kill these stupid Infernuses with a Volcano here. I can brew the Murmook, so I think that's what I do. Keep the Murmook around. Make him forge for 7, because the Hugger Mugger will die. I could have saved the... well, Grand Nine Toes was going to die no matter what. I could have saved Grand Nine Toes, or I could have like at least gotten it to 9 power by playing it first. But my thinking is Grand Nine Toes is very bad, and if he does Hysteria, I want play effects back in my hand. So Murmook. Okay, his Cauldron Boil is gone, so I think that's just some damage. I feel like this is a Kymor Eclipse kind of turn. I don't actually get to steal anything, but Kymoring back both of those is pretty good. And I get to take out a Murmook and a Bramble Lynx, and so there's a Bryn still left in the deck. Yeah, I'll say Shadows. I think I want both of those shuffled back in, so I'll Kymor, Avenda, and Hugger Mugger. Shorty's good. I'm at 7. I could see some Murmooks coming down. I feel like we're in Murmook territory here. He's shuffled back through his hand. I shuffled in a Murmook just now. Does he still have one in? Still has one in hand then. Get out the Floor's Lava. I kind of like the Floor's Lava plus J-Venda. If I somehow get to Reap with J-Venda. These so the Shadows creatures, specifically the Vendas from Worlds Collide, were actually good creatures. You just wouldn't know it because they never get talked about. But their effects are very, very relevant, and they're very relevant in decks that have all kinds of like extraneous damage, like the Floor's Lava and whatnot. So both of their effects are kind of insane. You would just have to play a lot of you were going to have to play a lot of Worlds Collide to know that. The thing with Worlds Collide was that like any combination of creatures from a house, the reason Untamed and Brobnar were like not particularly great in Worlds Collide was that the creature effects that they had, Brobnar in particular, was really bad. So I think he's trying to calculate some stuff. Shadows and Logos both had creatures with effects that were comparable to anything you saw in previous sets. They were kind of overshadowed by how powerful Star Alliance and Saurian creatures were in that set. This also had some fine creature effects. There's just a lot of like abilities that they had. So, all right, so opted to go into Untamed. Willing to bet a Murmook is going to come out to make me pay 7. He's trying to decide. I wonder what he's trying to decide here. Which of my creatures to kill or something like that. So Reaps before playing the Murmook. Plays the Murmook. The only thing that makes sense here is the Fangtooth Cavern. No, so he's making me forge for 7. Okay, which key? I'll forge the blue key. All right, out comes Brobnar. I'm gonna play the Floor's Lava. I'm gonna play Shorty, and we're gonna Gengar Chieftain the Murmook away. All right, we got a Brend. We got some stuff going on. Definitely got some stuff going on. He's got to Reap to win this in this game. I don't know why. It could have been a misplay. I don't know why he didn't word the Murmook. Opted to go with Logos. Tao. Okay. And what's the Millie too? It's Archive 2 with Millie. I get a feeling he's going to draw a lot of cards here. Crazy Killing Machine could whiff. I don't have a top card of the deck, so Crazy Killing Machine is actually pretty bad here. So this is one of those like visually misleading things where you see this is draw a 0, right? But you see the Archon card here, so your brain thinks there's cards here. I have on several occasions tried to use something and my opponent had no deck because that's not empty, right? Like if your opponent's deck is empty, you see a discard pile and no draw deck. So this gets to archive with Millie. Mega Ganger Chieftain takes some damage. Nam exploits it. I would attempt to get rid of Shorty. Shorty's just fights for free. I think I'd go for the Brend here. See, I had no draw deck there, so he has to blow up the Crazy Killing Machine. Okay, so I am actually going to go for the Brend here. If I get this Brend, I think I can win the game. Jay Vinda can kill this. And I get to steal one. I'll go ahead and play this Brend. Okay. So Brend could very well get Hysteria'd, which will suck. Can't do anything about it. But I do have Harmonia, which will generate some amber. Binding Irons, yeah. If he's got a... So I don't have a discard pile now, so Infernus's impact is lessened. I am Binding Irons, which, once again, sucks. Infernus comes out. If he wants to get rid of amber, or... yeah. I would just start purging my own stuff in the situation. Yes, he's opted to go for the pips. There's no way this isn't a Hysteria. Yep. Is he holding the Infernus? Holding the Infernus is a bold play. Opts to play the Infernus. I'd purge like Feathered Shaman, Crazy Killing Machine, Feathered Shaman, Dr. Millie, something along those lines. Yeah, Feathered Shaman, Crazy Killing Machine. All right, and we'll shoot the Eterum. Okay, so I can Harmonia for 2 here. Seems pretty good. What order do I do this in? I'll go Untamed. This is an Untamed turn. I won't get to draw anything. So if I Quicksand, I only get 1 from Harmonia. I wish I knew the order of things. I may need Harmonia to reap. Honestly, I think I just play the Unnatural. Play the Quicksand. Killing Eterum. Playing Harmonia. Playing Murmook. Kill the Infernus. Okay. Logos. Okay, so Logos is not... That's not terrible. I would at this point. I think I'd rather see Logos turns than Untamed or Dis turns. The Dis turns are absolutely terrifying at this point, right? I mean, it's slightly less bad because of the Infernus. One Infernus is gone and one Hysteria is gone, but there's always Exhumes. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bad things that can happen. I wonder if I have to say Shadows next. Code Monkey. So Code Monkey is part of the reason why I killed Infernus, because I didn't want a situation where I didn't want a situation where he got to Code Monkey and Infernus. I could say Brobnar. One unnatural selection is gone. He's about halfway through the deck. I could say Shadows. I think I say Shadows, and I try to get out the Vinda and the Brind. We just go for it right there. He hysterias me again. That sucks. Again. Goes to Dis. Festering Touch could kill the Murmuk, I suppose. But like, I feel like the only way I win this game is if that Brind dies somewhere along the way. Killed Murmuk and the Code Monkey. Didn't want to Hysteria the Code Monkey. I wonder if he's just killing his Code Monkey. I think he's just killing his Code Monkey so that way I can't floor his lava it. Plays Infernus. I'll get the Purge too. Okay, I'll get if he's got the other Hysteria, it's just bad news for me. Because I think I end up taking on yet another Shadows turn where I run out like some Shadows creatures that are not effective. He had the other Hysteria. Okay. If he generates one Amber, I think the only Amber pip in Dis in that deck is the Festering Touch. Okay, so I have to jam a bunch of Shadows, I think. I have to jam all these Shadows creatures. It's debating on whether or not to play that Infernus. But I think I have to play all these Shadows creatures. I think most of his Eteroom's dead. There's a Lilithal. Discarded an Eteroom. Okay, we'll shoot the Lilithal. He kept the Infernus as an emergency. Okay, so I just have to say Shadows, and I have to play all these Shadows creatures. So we'll play the Shadow Council. Play a Vinda to the left. Play J Vinda to the right. And then I'll play Brind to the right. Okay. So, we've seen both Hysterias. Now, the only way Brind leaves the table at this point is if I accidentally Chimera Eclipse it, which I can't do because it's not in my hand, or if he dies. So, Brind is a walking time bomb, at least. The Vindas are actually very threatening here, too, because I can floor his lava and do 1 damage to my Brind, and then Vinda Brind off the table. So, I've also got the Shadow Council, too. I am not optimistic of the Shadow Council living. It's going into Untamed. I got a feeling this is going to be a lot of Murmuks. Fangtooth is back. Fangtooth is bad. Fangtooth kills all of my creatures before it kills any of his right now. Fangtooth also puts him at 6. He's playing Unnatural Selection, so he'll get to kill another creature. I think that's game. I think that ends up being game. Unless something wacky happens. If he's got some Murmuks, maybe the game continues. But I think him generating any Amber actually closes out the game for him. Shadow Council is dead. Fangtooth will kill the J Vinda. So I don't have any way to kill the Brind. Because I needed like Volcano or something. Discarded Rustnar, discarded Bramble-Links. He's thrown away a bunch of stuff just to make sure that I can't like fight into it, I guess. I can shoot my Bryn, I could shoot the Lothal. I don't have... If I had Mug... I have a lot of outs in the deck that are nowhere to be... No, Mug is long gone. I need basically Volcano at this point, or my own Mermook. I don't think I have anything. Because I can play the Gengar Chieftain, but Bryn's got Skirmish, so I can't fight it off the table. I can play all this crappy stuff. No way to kill Bryn. So, yeah, I needed a way to kill Bryn, right? Yeah, that was a really good game. I kept running into stuff. I kept running into, like, I kept trying to present situations where it was like, he needs exactly this card, right? Like, I was trying to get to the point there where he needed... It's like, he's got to have this card, gotta have this card. So I wonder if I just run out the Bryn sooner. I don't know. It's just, I had really bad turns to take, right? This deck is a lot less efficient. So I think Cav had like a not great draw. I know he had 12 chains, but I think he had not great draw the first time through the deck. So um, 12 chains did seem like a lot. I think, well, actually I should say, so when he took, I guess, was it his second turn and he got rid of the whole hand with Dr. Millie and whatnot, that was, I had like a little pang where I was like, uh-oh, that could be a bad sign, because that's the kind of thing, um, that's the kind of situation where the chains almost don't matter at that point, right? Because you're archiving enough. So yeah. Once the chains were gone, though, and once I had lost a lot of stuff to being purged, the only way I was going to win is if I just steal 3 amber in the middle of the game, right? So yeah, reaping a lot. And okay, so now dramatically, next week I win and I'm in, or I lose and who knows what happens. Lose and it comes down to tiebreakers. So losing to Cav there sucks, because I'd rather not have to sweat it out next week. But next week, sweat a shall. So 12 just seemed like a lot of chains. I think 12 is too many. I think you lose that game more than you don't. More than you win, right? Yeah, I think so. I was like a turn off, I feel like, on a couple powerful combos. Harmonia, for instance. It's just that deck doesn't have any efficiency, so you just kind of have to play what you draw when you draw it. Like the yes, yeah, that actually right there, Frant. Yeah, exactly, because he got to a key faster. He got to the first key relatively quickly, right? If I I think honestly, I think the play in that matchup was to just use Shadow's creatures. I think Shadow Council is probably one of your better draws early in the game, while the deck doesn't have like a ton of removal, or it's like trying to put together its removal. I wonder. I don't know. It's tough to say. Shadow Council just dies to so much stuff in that deck, though. The artifacts generate some value. I wasn't able to protect the Hawk. Yeah, there were a lot of things that went wrong in that game. That, despite my best efforts, it's just that matchup is super lopsided, right? I would have thought him being down. So 12 change is what, 18 cards? I would have thought him being down half of a Keyforge deck would have been enough to slow the deck down to the point where I could win, but I would have been wrong. So okay, that is it for me for KFPL. We will be back tonight with thanks to everybody for watching. Appreciate it. We will be back tonight. Further Mass Mutation Tournament of Champions. We are rounding out the top 8. I think we're running out the top 8 tonight. We've got just a few more rounds to go, and we'll be in the top 8. So I think this tournament is done in less than a week and a half, I believe, at this point. So we'll have learned a lot about Mass Mutations throughout this process. Like what non-Logos decks in Mass Mutations you're kind of looking for. We've learned a lot about like how lopsided Mass Mutations feels. Hilariously, that was a Worlds Collide matchup that didn't involve Star Alliance and it didn't involve Saurians. So that game right there is pretty funny to me, just as an anomaly, right? Because I think most of the time when you think Worlds Collide, you think either a Star Alliance deck or a Saurian deck, or even both. So looking at the Brobnar and the Untamed from Worlds Collide in decks that get like whenever you play those decks, you just like wonder what went wrong in the design process, like the power disparity between those houses. So all right, anyway, that's enough rambling for me. Back tonight, just 5 hours from now with more Keyforge. So appreciate it, everybody. Goodbye.